All right, let's talk a little bit about politics before we wrap up, because there's always somebody that wants to, bang on about politics and get an opinion. So what did this guy here say? I agree with a lot of your content, but it seems to me that you're just kind of mad that Joe Biden won. I don't know where you stand politically with both sides, but judging from your tweets, I don't know. I don't care, to be honest with you. I think it's entertaining from my perspective that your entire nation, when I say you're, I'm talking about Americans, voted for a guy. Like, it's like voting for a guy, and I tweeted about this. Voting for Biden is like knowing you've got a 4-year road trip that you got to take, and you have a selection of a bunch of different vehicles, and you pick the one with, bald tires, 500,000 miles on it. It's barely holding on. It's got a burnt out headlight, a couple of busted taillights, and the brakes barely work. But you want to take that for the 4-year road trip. That's literally what Americans decided to do. And in fact, it's also kind of funny from another perspective that there's dead people voting for Biden against Trump. People hate Trump so much that they came back from the dead and voted against him. I find all of this interesting and fascinating as hell. I don't know about you guys. So here's the thing about politics, guys. Here's the thing about politics. All right. Nobody cares. It does not matter if it's Republican, Democrat. In Canada, we've got many more parties. We've got the Conservative Party, the Liberal Party, the New Democrat Party, the People's Party of Canada, which is a Libertarian Party. We've got all these parties here. You guys have 2 main parties, but everybody's fighting amongst themselves over who's got the bigger D. It's a big D swinging contest is what I see here. And neither one of the two is going to make any difference in the world at the end of the day, in your personal world at the end of the day. So my political views are, I'll restate 2 different positions. Because when did my grandfather die? It was 88 or 9 or so. Anyway, he died a long time ago, but he was about 86 at the time. And I remember him saying, when I was real young, we were talking about politics. And he was not a entrepreneur. He was not a capitalist. He was a military guy, worked for the Royal Air Force, did a lot of, hands-on jobs. He was, what the hell were they called? Flying boats, Sunderlands, I think they were called. Was it de Havilland Sunderland? Anyway, the boat was a flying boat called the Sunderland. He did a lot of work around that for many, many years. He was a grunt. Okay, he was basically a aircraft mechanic, and he always said, if you've got the choice between the two, between liberals and conservatives, the conservatives are the ones that are least likely to F up the economy. Okay, so if you have to narrow it down between the two, I'm with Granddad on that, and that's what I would rely on. And it's not because I hate Biden or because I like Trump or any of those things, and those opinions really don't matter. There's some very, very strange people out there that take this shit very, very seriously. They've been sleeping in their MAGA hats for the last 5 years, and there's people that have been, on the other side, manufacturing stories and impeachments and collusions, and all this stuff has been made up over the last 4 years, it seems, to discredit Trump. And then on the other side of the coin, there's all these other things, that are going on with somebody like Kamala, for example, who nobody's saying anything about today that she slept her way to the top or had some help along the way. Let's just water it down a little bit. She definitely had a significant amount of help along the way. What I believe, though, at the end of the day, guys, is in sovereignty. It's it's about control and freedom and just keeping the government and the state out of my life. Okay. It doesn't matter which political party you choose, they're always going to be involved in your life. I don't see any of these political parties saying, you know what, family law is screwed. We need to revamp family law and level the playing field and not make it so hostile towards men. I haven't seen either political party say that, right? I haven't seen anybody talk about anything that matters for the betterment of society. It's always about bigger government, more control, more influence and impact on our individual lives, and less personal freedoms. Is one party better than the other? I'm with Granddad, conservative, right? But at the end of the day, I'm more of a libertarian. When I vote here in Canada, I vote for libertarian policies, low taxes, personal freedoms. That's what I'm after. But unfortunately, nobody, like the candidate here in Canada, what's his name? Maxime Bernier, or Max Bernier, I think. I don't even think they got one seat in Parliament, not even one. Everybody voted for Conservative, Liberal, or New Democrat Party here. And it seems like it's the same thing in the state. You know, you guys are divided on Democrat, Republican. At the end of the day, it's the same crap. I put on Instagram the other day. It's like choosing between, you know, do you want to be constipated or to have diarrhea? It's all the same shit. It's just different, whatever, you know. Let me grab this super chat here real quick from Ryan. Ryan says, do you think the tensions with China, Iran might be going to war with Biden as president? Look, I don't follow the news. The news has no impact on my day-to-day life. And I encourage you guys to cancel cable, not follow the news. It doesn't matter. It's you know, if you think that your views, you know, your opinion, arguing about it on Facebook, getting into battles with, you know, the Karens of the world, unfriending people, blocking people, it's like, I've never seen society this divided in my entire life over something that's as silly as politics, you know. And it's again, it's the same shit, just different texture, right? It's all about big government, bigger government over time, more control and less personal freedoms. And if you want my opinion, guys, you should be voting for less of that. Smaller government, more personal freedoms, more sovereignty. That's my view. Joe uses Camilla as a trophy, somebody said here. And of course, we've got losers like this. Oh boy, everybody's so divided over politics. You know, you're either, you know, a Biden guy or you're a Trump guy. It's like, you know what? Stop having your identity attached to an old man that's about to kick the bucket just because he opposes the other candidate because you think he's this, that, or the other thing. You know, a lot of people waste far too much time and energy in politics, in my view. And I really, really think that there's a lot better things you can do with your time than watching everything that goes down on your favorite news media station. They're all skewed in one direction or the other. If you watch Fox News, you're going to get a different story from CNN, right? You watch CNBC, it'll be different from the other guy. It really depends on what it is you want to do with your time. And if you want to hang around, you know, arguing with people about politics and who's got the better leader, I can tell you this, my life isn't going to change, and the lives of many of you guys aren't going to change whether Biden or Trump is leading the country for the next 4 years. It's not going to be that much different. Again, it's like choosing between hard-ass constipation and runny diarrhea. It's all shit at the end of the day. Anyway, that's my take on it, guys. Don't spend too much time you know, burning through politics and the news and fighting with people and creating enemies and friends based on political divisions. It's just ridiculous. I mean, there are some out to lunch people out there on both sides of the camp. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, there's some whack jobs that have been sleeping in their MAGA hats for 4 years straight. And there's also some whack jobs that constantly bang on and make up stuff about Donald Trump as a president, you know, for the last years. Just get off your high horses, dude. Get off your soapboxes and work on your inner self. That's what you can control. Control the man. This is the mental point of origin story, right? That Rollo created. This is what really matters to men and to masculinity at the end of the day.